and they all lived happily ever after. Well, that certainly was a convoluted novel, and I have qualms about some plot holes and unresolved points of contention, but at least the princess had a happy ending with her champion. If only I should be so lucky. All right then, time for bed. And under the covers I go. I'll have to ask that old busybody to fetch more books for me the next time she stops by. I appear to have finished them all yet again. And so ends another day in my tower, alone. My only company being an old sorceress who goes as quickly as she comes. And she wonders why I talk aloud to myself like this. Oh, how can one possibly sleep like this? Almost 4 years living in this tower. Perhaps tomorrow will finally be the day I'm freed from this prison and able to return home to the palace, she says, with little hope of this being the case. Soon it will be my 22nd birthday, another lonely celebration with the same written letter from my father and one of Madame Major's horrific cakes. Truly something to look forward to. Well, good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, my someone, whoever you are. May you arrive swiftly and be as handsome and valiant as I've always dreamed you are. What was that? My imagination, then? Or perhaps another raccoon that made it through the magical barrier. Nothing to get my head in a tizzy over. Dreamland calls. No, there it is again. That sounds like someone coming up the stairs. Oh my goodness, is it finally happening? My heroic saviour come to whisk me away at last. Oh, I've been waiting so long, I can't believe. Oh, I'm not even at my most presentable. No, I shall simply pretend to be asleep. The picture of demure grace, and then true love's kiss to awaken me from slumber, just like in the novels. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, he's almost here. Eyes closed. Slow breaths. Oh, it's him. It's really him. Oh, he's so tall that he blocks out the light from the wall sconces. Oh, he's walking over. I wonder if our first kiss will be chaste or full of passion. Oh, I'm not picky or shallow, but please do let him be handsome. Oh, what the... Oh, he's trying to shake me awake. What? Excuse me, sir, that's not how this is supposed to go. Have you never read a book? Keep up the act, then. That's all there is to it. Improvise, roll with the punches. My word. I was in such a deep sleep. If I'd known I would be awakened in such a fashion, I simply would have stayed up to wait for your arrival. As it is, I did not expect tonight to be my fated meeting with my handsome, stalwart, majestic, virile... woman? You're a woman? No. This isn't how this is supposed to happen. You can't be a woman. I'm supposed to be rescued by a prince or dashing knight, not a lady. Why are you laughing at me? How dare you? You would hardly call yourself a lady. Well, I mean, you are awfully muscular for a woman, to be sure. Distinctly feminine in the face, but handsome, too, in a way. Well, regardless, You are clearly still not a man, and so I am quite perplexed. I mean, my champion is supposed to whisk me away from here to marry me and live happily ever after. Oh, I can't do that with a woman. You simply must go. Leave. That is an order. I will continue my solitary wait for rescue. Thank you very much. Well, I don't care if I'll be waiting a while or if I'm shunning a prime opportunity for being saved. I don't think you understand why I'm here in the first place. No, it's not because I have a terrible father. I'm sure you're not one to talk. You're barbarian, aren't you? I can tell by the way you're dressed and by your scruff. The books say that barbarian fathers abandon their families or at worst eat their children for breakfast. My father, on the other hand, is a gentleman and a king, no less. So, all right, well, he had a very good reason. He didn't feel that any man in the kingdom deserved my hand in marriage, so he placed me here in order for someone who is worthy of me to save me, upon which he will grant said saviour his blessing. And yes, it has to be a man. I can't marry a woman. It's most unheard of. You don't want to marry a brat like me anyway. The nerve of you. I could have your head for that, you know. Well then, why are you here if not to... Really? You seek to bring me back to my father in exchange for amnesty. Well, that's interesting. Barbarians have been scourges in the sides of civilized folk throughout history, looting and pillaging, setting fire to our crops with nary a shred of remorse. Why seek royal pardon now? Oh, not my business. I should think it is when I'm a key factor in you attaining your absolution. But no matter. If you can get through all the magical traps and barriers, that just proves that my charming hero is bound to do so as well, eventually. Perhaps I could go with you back to civilization, breathe some fresh air and eat better food before I inevitably am made to return. Actually, how in the world did you get through all the obstacles here when no one else has achieved such a thing in the past few years? What? You just walked through? What in the world? I wonder if the protective magic was attuned solely to men and not women. Well, that's certainly a massive oversight. Dumb old crone. No, not you. You're definitely not a crone of any sort. Not with such lean muscles and striking features. Fine, I will journey with you back to my kingdom. It will be a brief respite for me. I get to stretch my legs and make up for a bit of lost time, most likely leave my father speechless. You know, I like this idea, actually. I suppose I can extend to you some gratitude then. Aha, what? Go right now? It's the middle of the night. I was all tucked in and getting ready for bed before you barged in. I refuse to up and leave before it's light. I've waited this long to set foot outside the tower. What's one more night? Look, why don't you just take a breather? You may not have had to fight your way through to get to me, but I know those stairs are no laughing matter, even for someone as athletic as you seem. No, I'm not stealing a glance at your bulging pectorals. Why in the world would I do that? I don't change the subject. I was about to say, sleep here, and we can journey in the morning. In my bed? Absolutely not. A princess does not jump into bed with a stranger. It's most uncouth. Well, I mean... Well, you... I suppose it wouldn't be, untoward, since you're not a man, but... Well, I don't know. I feel like Well, it's a little embarrassing regardless, don't you think? What's there to be embarrassed about if we're both women? That's true. You're not just any woman, though. You're very tall and broad. Not at all like any of the women I've ever been around. What am I blathering about? This is ridiculous. Of course you can sleep in my bed. Just perhaps take off the pauldron first. And the sword strapped to your back. Yes, good. All right, then I'll scoot over for you. You're very solid, aren't you? And warm. You could probably easily spoon me if you wished. Oh, just a silly term from one of my books. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not thinking about your body wrapped around me or anything. That's absurd. Well, good night. What now? Are you not tired at all? Why couldn't I marry you? Asking hypotheticals now. You're the one who said you wouldn't marry me, remember? Well, if you must know, it's just not done where I'm from. Regardless of if I've never really felt strong feelings towards any man one way or the other, I'm sure it is as it is in the books. The right one just needs to come along and sweep me off my feet, and then we will be in love. Simple as that. Could I be attracted to a woman? I never really thought about it. I don't think so. Women are very beautiful, and I do so admire their physical features, or even you with your ruggedness are quite attractive, you know. If I were a man, I certainly would be quite enamoured by you, I think. Would be taken by those piercing eyes and firm body and full lips. But no, I should think I would know if I liked women that way. Besides, the books are quite clear that there are things only men can do for a woman. You know, in bed. You want me to spell it out for you? Fine. Intercourse. To phrase it crudely. Oh, don't laugh. Even if it were possible to like women that way, what in the world could two women do together? I mean, between you and me, after years in this tower on my own, I certainly have needs that could do with satisfying. So therefore, men are the only option. I am not fond of how you speak to me. You think you're so clever. Well, yes, in fact, I am proud of that deduction. Thank you very much. Hold a moment. Really? You've been with other women? In bed? In that fashion? Not that I care. That sounds... Well, it sounds barbaric, of course. Fork-founding kitchen. But in theory, if I did want to know more... How exactly is that possible? How can you please a woman without... Well, you know, I'm quite perplexed. Stop laughing at me. I'm not sheltered. I read all the time. Oh, forget I asked. Incorrigible heathen. I'm going to bed in a bad mood because of you. Mocking a princess. The nerve. Oh, so you can... show me how two women would be together in such a way. You think I'm desperate, then, just because I told you I have needs? Well, I'm not. Both. Not desperate, not interested. Good night. But, hypothetically, if I were interested in having you educate me, as you say, what exactly would that entail?